Hey, it's Clinton here. We are checking out Dragon Age Inquisition. It is indeed the Age of Dragons. And what you're looking at now is near the end, the climax of the prologue sequence to the single player campaign. As the title suggests, this could be considered minor spoilers, so just a fair warning for anyone who has yet to get the game or pop it into their machine to play. Personally, I don't feel something that's so close to the start of the game is a spoiler. This is maybe half an hour into the game, so I just wanted to give some information on getting started with Dragon Age Inquisition, give some very early, extremely early impressions on what I think of the game, the gameplay, the various changes they made to the core systems. So, where to start? Before you even get started, I highly recommend you check out Bioware's The Keep. It's a sort of like a save import system, although it doesn't take your save files from the previous Dragon Age games. What it will do is it will take your Bioware social account, which you have probably set up at some point playing one of the Dragon Age games prior, and it's going to pull the data from that, and it's going to look at all the major decisions you've made, and supposedly it's going to import these into the game so that when particular quests come up or you meet certain people, they'll actually register these things that you did in the previous games. What you want to do is you want to go to the site. I'm going to link to it in the description. Go to the site, log in with your Origin account. You probably have to set up an account specifically for the Keep, and then away you go. It's going to start importing the information that they have stored about your Dragon Age career. It's not perfect. It's going to get all the general brushstrokes correct. The major plot points are going to be there, but there's going to be a ton of details with the side quests that you're either going to have a great memory of what you did in Dragon Age 1 and 2, or you're going to have to consult the Dragon Age wikis out there, or you can just fly by the seat of your pants and just do whatever. I personally don't think it's going to make a huge impact on your game here. As you may have heard, you're not even playing the same character as you did from the previous two games. You're playing an entirely new character. He's an Inquisitor. Dragon Age Origins, you played a Warden, and then in Dragon Age 2 you played a guy named Hawk. A guy or a girl named Hawk. So it's a nice touch. I think it's something that they could keep doing for future games, and I hope they improve on it. And for me, it was more of a chore actually to do it, to be honest, but I'm glad I got through it, and I hope to see some of these data points reflected later on in the campaign. So what does happen now? Well, how should I say? The game is very much like Elder Scrolls Oblivion, where you have these magical rifts that are opening up in the world and demons are pouring out. So right now we are closing one of the major rifts that has opened. The character, your hero, is the lone survivor of this catastrophic explosion that had wiped out a meeting between the Templars and the Mages. There's supposed to be this truce that's happening between those two factions, and then this explosion wiped everyone out except for you. You've woken up, and you've been sort of taken prisoner by Cassandra, who's a seeker. She's sort of like a fantasy version of an FBI agent. And then they've enlisted your help. Since you have this mysterious mark in your hand that can close these rifts, they know that you're connected somehow to this big event. So here I am, actually using my hand powers, the mark on my hand, to convene with the rift gate. And in this particular fight, it's a part of the mechanic. We have to interact with the rift every so often to weaken this demon who we're beating on. And yeah, that's the basic setup for the story right now. I've played a couple more hours since, and I gotta say, the reviews out there are pretty spot on. It's a very slow start. I mean, aside from this sort of stuff, where they teach you the systems, and they throw into these battles that are pretty easy to win. You're kind of just thrown in head first, and they're doing a lot of explaining on the way. They really throw a lot of the lore, backstory information at you. So if you're completely new to Dragon Age, you're going to be pretty lost, I have to say. And it's definitely a good idea to read the wiki, to check out some of the Dragon Age lore video series that are up on YouTube, and just to get yourself caught up. There's no need to go out and read any novels or anything. And of course, if you've got time, play Dragon Age Origins, which is the first game. And yeah, if you really like it, Dragon Age 2, although I'm not a huge fan of Dragon Age 2, I never finished that one. Yeah, you may as well. The games are out there, they're probably on sale, and buy them in a bundle. But yeah, if you just want to hop in cold with Dragon Age Inquisition, you could do a lot worse. You just make sure to do some reading up beforehand. Because yeah, there's a lot of names and references thrown in, even in its prologue section. And as you can see, I'm playing the dual-wielding rogue. An interesting thing they do here is that they divide the rogue and warrior into two subclasses right off the bat. As a rogue, you can go stabby, dual-wielding, or you can go archer. And for warrior, you can go sword and board, or you can do the two-handed weapons. Mage is just mage, and I guess they kind of leave it open. You can specialize in whatever elemental magic that you choose along the way. In either case, in any case, whatever class you choose, they're gonna give you two skills right off the bat, so you don't get to choose, and you have to wait later on in the game to respec those skills if you really want to. But the default skill layout for this dual-wielding rogue is actually not too bad, and I'm enjoying using this rogue quite a bit. As you can see, I can just go invisible fairly frequently, and then you can just run around the battlefield. No one's going to pay any attention to you, and just sneak up to people and flank them, do extra critical damage when you come out of your stealth mode, and then it's great. Yeah, I really enjoy stalking around the battlefield unmolested. No one's paying me any attention, and just strike when I'm ready. And I believe this is the very last time I'm touching the rift there. No, not quite. This guy is still taking a beating. And right now I'm just using the real-time combat. There is the return of the overhead tactical mode, which pauses the game and lets you issue commands to people. So far I'm not a huge fan of that mode. I can say that they made huge improvements on that since the console versions of Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. But whenever I pull up, I just feel tired. I just don't want to mess with it. I did much prefer the real-time combat. It feels pretty good. And there, the fight's over. I actually did the final interaction with the rift, and I ran over to hit the demon, but all I had to do was stay at the rift and just click the button again. So you would think this is the end of the game or something. The gigantic rift in the sky has been closed, and we've defeated some fearsome demon creature. But no, it's just the beginning. They haven't even ran the game's title card yet, believe it or not. And on the main menu on the splash screen, you don't even see the title of the game anywhere. And now that we've finished the prologue, we black out or something, and then yeah, we wake up in bed. I spent a lot of time in the face customizer, as I usually do with these huge RPGs. It's always the same, whether it's Fallout 3, Oblivion, Skyrim, previous Dragon Age games, Mass Effect. Just spend like at least half an hour tweaking the eyebrows, chins, nose, and the aim is always the same. I want to create something that looks like myself, and I just go in and I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to spend half an hour to an hour customizing my face so I look just like I do in real life. And, you know, 20-30 minutes pass and I just end up giving up. And the results are sometimes not so good. There's extensive makeup options in the customizer, and I ended up with like far too rosy cheeks. Like my cheeks look far too rosy and shiny, and it looks totally different when you're in the customizer as opposed to when you see yourself in game with the different lighting that they have in the engine. So you really got to be careful. If you're really anal about getting your face right, I would suggest you just, do what you can, start up the prologue, and then really look at yourself from all angles. By the way, when you're in the customizer, you can rotate. Don't forget you can rotate with the right stick, so you see your profile. That is super important. When you're looking at yourself just straight on, you're gonna miss a lot of details, so you have to rotate and look at your profile. See here, I just woke up, and from this chest I picked up my nice little pre-order weapon, which is sort of like this flaming ornate dagger. It's going to be different for all the classes, but it actually turns out to be a pretty good weapon. It's way stronger than anything else you could find in the early game, and yeah, I'm actually impressed this time. That's not some throwaway weapon that you ditch after 10 minutes. And I'm just about ready to wrap this video up. Before I leave, I think I just jump into the inventory screen here to poke around. The interface is pretty straightforward. I would say it's not the best interface. It's kind of right on the edge of being functional and being like a little bit too clumsy to get through things like equipping weapons and comparing weapon stats. I'm still getting used to it. As I mentioned, there's the tactical interface for combat, which I'm not a huge fan of, even though I know they've made some small improvements here and there. Yeah, I'll probably have more to say about the interface the more I use it, but right now it kind of feels a little bit awkward. It could be better, also could be a lot worse. How's that for really being beige about my opinion on the UI, right? And yeah, that's all I really want to cover for this first quick look of the Prologue gameplay in Dragon Age. Join me next time. Thanks for watching.